The Galactic survey vessel Kethron drifted through the debris field of Sector 9, cataloging the shattered remains of what had once been a colony freighter. Ambassador Zyriel of the Velthari Collective stood at the observation deck, his four luminescent eyes scanning the wreckage with clinical detachment. His species had explored 1,000 star systems. Destruction was simply data. Then one of his crew reported something unexpected. Ambassador, there is a life sign. Faint. Human. Zyriel paused. Humans. The newest, most primitive species in the Galactic Accord. Barely 2 centuries of spaceflight. They were barely worth cataloging. Retrieve it, he said simply. Not out of compassion, out of diplomatic obligation. They pulled James R. Cooper, chief engineer of the EFS Resolute, from a crumpled escape pod with 12 minutes of oxygen remaining. He was burned across his left arm, his suit cracked along the chest plate, and yet, when Zyriel's crew carried him aboard, Cooper looked up at the towering silver alien and said, with a bruised grin, "Took you long enough." Zyriel observed the human for a long moment. Cooper's vitals were poor. His species was fragile, bones easily broken, blood pressure easily lost. And yet the creature was making humor. Fascinating. Irrational, but fascinating. Medical Officer Veen sealed Cooper's wounds with regenerative gel and reported to Zyriel privately. He should not be alive, Ambassador. The pod took severe impact stress. His internal organs sustained trauma. By all biological models, he should be dead. Zyriel said nothing. He simply watched the human sleep. 3 days later, a Velthari long-range communication array intercepted a Priority 1 signal. Zyriel recognized the signature immediately. The Korath Dominion, a militaristic empire that controlled 6-star systems through terror and tribute. The message was brief and brutal. The human vessel that entered Sector 9 was carrying stolen Korath navigational data. The survivor is our prisoner. Surrender him within 48 hours or face consequences. Zyriel stared at the transmission log. His vessel was a survey ship, no weapons of consequence. The Korath Dominion had war fleets. The diplomatic calculus was simple. 1 human life against a potential interstellar incident. He walked to the medical bay, where Cooper sat upright now, eating reconstituted rations with remarkable enthusiasm for a man with 3 cracked ribs. "Mr. Cooper," Zyriel said carefully, "are you aware of stolen Korath navigational data aboard your vessel?" Cooper looked up. His gray eyes went still. "We were delivering it to the Galactic Accord Intelligence Division. The Korath have been falsifying navigation maps in contested corridors, causing accidents, killing freighters." He set down the food. "My crew died getting that data out." Silence settled between them like gravity. Zyriel made his decision quietly, without drama. "Rest, Mr. Cooper. I will handle this." He sent the Korath a single word: refused. What Zyriel had not accounted for was the human communications array that Cooper had quietly accessed from the medical bay terminal. In the hours after Zyriel's refusal, James Cooper had sent 1 compressed burst transmission, a simple distress call encoding his coordinates, the Korath ultimatum, and 1 line of plain text. "Ambassador Zyriel of Velthari saved my life. He is refusing to hand me over. He may die for it." That message reached Earth 14 hours later. The United Earth Fleet Command didn't debate. They didn't convene a committee or file a diplomatic query. Admiral Patricia Okafor, of the UEF Steadfast, looked at the coordinates and issued 2 words to her battle group. All ahead. The Korath warships arrived first. 3 heavy cruisers emerging from FDL around Zyriel's unarmed survey vessel. Their weapons locked. Their commander sent a final transmission. "Last warning, Velthari." Zyriel stood on his bridge, calm as starlight. He had no options left. He turned to tell Cooper. And then every long-range sensor on the bridge screamed simultaneously. 17 Earth vessels dropped out of FDL in a perfect crescent formation. Destroyers, 2 carriers, and the UEF Steadfast at the center, her bow gun arrays already hot. They had crossed 40 light-years in 14 hours. No species in the known galaxy could move a fleet that fast. Admiral Okafor's voice filled every channel on every ship in the sector, completely, coldly calm. "This is the United Earth Fleet. The individual aboard that survey vessel is under our protection. Any weapons discharge will be treated as an act of war against humanity. You have 60 seconds to jump out. I won't be counting slowly." The Korath ships held position for 11 seconds. Then they jumped. Cooper walked onto Zyriel's bridge and stood beside the ambassador, both of them watching the empty space where 3 warships had been moments ago. Zyriel stared at the Earth fleet hanging in the void, 17 vessels that had crossed the galaxy for one man. "Mr. Cooper," he said slowly, his 4 eyes unable to look away from the tactical display. "Your species has been in space for 2 centuries. You are, by all measures in the Galactic Accord Registry, a primitive civilization." "Yep," Cooper said. "And your government sent a war fleet across 40 light years. For one engineer?" Cooper looked at him. He wasn't smiling this time. "Ambassador," he said quietly, "you went unarmed against an empire for one engineer." He let that sit a moment. "We don't leave people behind. And we really don't forget the ones who stand up for us." Zyriel was silent for a long time. In every diplomatic record, every Galactic Accord treaty, every ancient Velthari scripture, there was a word for what had just happened in Sector 9. Not war, not rescue, not even alliance. The word was loyalty. And in 200 years, no species had shown it quite like this. He turned to face Cooper fully. "I believe," Zyriel said at last, "that humanity has been severely underestimated." Cooper smiled. "Usually are." Outside, across 40 light years of open space, the UEF steadfast held her position, steady, patient, and completely unafraid.